My name is Ikia Iswa Jimfi. I'm an executive assistant. I'm into translation as well, Spanish, English. And I have two beautiful girls, 3-year-old and 1-year-old. And what I actually love about motherhood is just waking up to the smiles of my girls. You know, when they are just frustrated, they want to sleep, scratching their hair, and mommy carries them and they're just fine. It's like all their problems are solved. That is what gives me a sense of satisfaction.
My name is Zuriel Chidima Okeze. Now Mrs. Zuriel Chidima Owusu-Ansah. I'm into skincare products. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a 7-month-old baby girl. Whew. Prior to that, because I don't like to excuse my other baby, prior to that, I did have a miscarriage, and so I would say I have 2 kids, but then one on the ed side. What makes me happy as a mom is whenever she takes her little palms and holds my face when she's frustrated, just like she said, I feel so relieved. Whenever she's hungry and my breast milk is able to soothe her, yes, that is a relief for me, and so it makes motherhood a beautiful experience, even though it comes with its frustrations too.
My name is Irene Odro. I'm a logistics and procurement professional. And for me, what makes motherhood special, the fact that I'm able to take care of 2 girls at the same time. I have twin girls. The fact that I'm able to take care of them, seeing that they are okay all the time, they're crying at the same time, being able to attend to them at the same time, even breastfeeding them at the same time, making sure they are okay, it makes me happy. And the fact that I'm part of every phase or process they get to, seeing them walking, learning how to talk, how to eat, yeah, that makes me proud and that makes me very happy. The fact that I'm able to do this alone. Of course, my husband, he helps me a lot, but then we all know that mothers are the ones taking care of children most of the time. So the fact that I'm able to do this, it really makes me happy as a mother.
My name is Vida Jansi Ewenam. I'm a baker and I have a son. And what makes me enjoy motherhood is being able to take care of my boy. And one thing I love most is whenever I'm angry, he notices it and he comes to kiss me most of the times. Yeah, that it makes me fulfilled as a mother. That's what I love about being a mother.
We're first going to talk about the labor. Before we get into that, I want to know, how did you first find out you were pregnant?
So funny story here. We all get cold, we all get cough. But it turns out what I thought was cold and cough and had been treating it for 6 weeks, and the doctor advised that probably I was having maybe a sinus infection and any other weird thing that could be happening to the body. I should run some allergy tests and include a pregnancy test. So I was home one day and the hospital called that the medication the doctor had prescribed for me, I should stop taking it. That particular cough mixture, I should stop taking it and come to the hospital as soon as possible. So I was really scared because I had been coughing for quite a while. And it's not that there were phlegms. There's no phlegm. It's just dry cough and blocked nose. You suck it in. There's nothing falling out. So I was really worried, to be honest. So when I went to the hospital and the doctor was asking me a whole lot of questions, and then he's like, okay, so from the test we ran, it seems you are pregnant. I'm like, wow. Wait, doctor, seems or I am? Then I pulled out my phone. I'm like, there's no way I can be pregnant. He said, okay, show me your chart. That's when was your last menses, that conversation. I showed it to him and he's like, okay, so over here, it doesn't say no chance. It says low chance of pregnancy. I'm like, okay, so that means I don't have a safe period to say that a low chance of pregnancy could be a no chance of pregnancy. Yes. So congratulations, you are pregnant. I said, yeah, thank you for now. Let me consult my husband. I'll be back. So at that moment, it wasn't that kind of yippee situation. It was kind of a lot of things dawning on me. Like, you can't press pause. This is something that is going to happen to you. You're going to grow, you're going to change. And I have seen a lot of people go through pregnancy phases. So I started wondering what mine would be. I was very slim. So I started thinking, will I get a big nose? will I get a big feet? You know, but on the whole, I would say that the pregnancy journey for me was a good one. My appetite was constant. I wasn't throwing up. I wasn't spitting. I was hoping to gain some weight. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 babies and, well, maybe a little bit weight, 0.2. And I'll just keep it that way. So the second baby, I have 2 girls. So the second baby, as I started coughing, everyone started congratulating me, even before I went to the hospital. And I still doubted it because I was still having my menses and all that. It was later that I said, okay, let me go and check. I didn't have any blood test or urine test. I just went straight to scan. And there was a heartbeat. So I said, okay, confirm. Cough equals pregnancy. But though I'm coughing now, I'm not pregnant.
What shows you are not pregnant?
So keep your
Maybe
confidence.
number 3 is
Well, for me, I think it was when I was talking to my mom, and over the months, I had been trying to check if I was pregnant, getting pregnancy kits. If you came to my wardrobe, you'll find like packs of them, because I wanted to be sure I was pregnant rather. And so I was talking to her one day and she was like, oh, why don't you just go take a test since you haven't seen your period for the past 10 days? And I was like, okay, let me try. So I go take one of the pregnancy tests, different brands.
just to be sure.
Exactly. So I go take one of them and I went to pee on the stick, and it was a faint line. So I was like, nah, I don't want a faint line. I want like a positive. And so she was like, you never know. It could be yes. And I was like, nah, I'm not even going to take it as, a yes. My husband came back from work and I told him. And we went to the hospital and the doctor did a series of tests. And he was like, no, you're not pregnant. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. So we went back home, and I think there was this part of me that believed I was pregnant because my body is so synchronized. Like, I know when this is happening, I know when this is happening, I know when my periods are starting, and I know when they're ending. So I just kept on trying and, testing, and then eventually one day I got positive, and I don't know, it was one of the happiest days of my life. I think I cried. I did cry. I did cry, and yeah, that was how I found out I was pregnant.
Well, with mine, my menses wasn't that regular. So when I was pregnant, I didn't even know. It was my sister that told me, then I think you are pregnant. So just go and get a kit and check. It all started when I was expecting my menses, and then it wasn't coming. So I thought it was the normal thing, not coming on time. So I wasn't even expecting to get pregnant or anything like that. So I was there one morning, I started flowing. But then I realized after some few hours, the whole thing ceased. So I called my sister, and she is a nurse. So any funny thing I see, I just call her. So I told her I was expecting my menses. It finally came this morning. And after some few hours, the whole thing stopped. Then she was like, then maybe it's implantation bleeding. So she explained it to me that it happens to most women when they are pregnant. The first few days, they experience this spotting and all that. So she told me to give it like 3 days and then go and do the test. So I finally bought the kit, and in fact, when I was doing the test, I was scared myself. So I called my husband to check it for me. I did it and then went to the bedroom and called my husband to check it for me if it's positive or negative. So he just brought it and he was laughing. And I was like, what is it? He said it's negative. When he said negative, he was still laughing. So I realized he was just joking. So I took the kid from him and then I realized it was positive. And just as you said, that was the happiest day. You see, in our society, when you get married, a whole lot of people are expecting to see your big stomach after some few months and all that. So I think it was 2 months after we got married. So in fact, that was the happiest day. I was shouting. I'm even sure my neighbors were like, is she okay? I was shouting and jumping everywhere. That was the happiest day. I was very, very happy. So that is how I found out I was pregnant. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, my experience, I think when it was time for me to have my menses, it didn't come. But then I was having cramps. So I was like, maybe it's a normal thing.
Yeah, it happened.
So a month passed, the following month. Still, it was time. When it's time for me to have my menses, I still get the cramps, but there was no blood. So one day I was like, okay, I was like normal. I wasn't vomiting, I wasn't spitting, like I was normal. So I went to the pharmacy with my partner to buy the test tube. So I bought 2. So he was like, I should wait for him when he comes back from work, then I'll check. But I was so curious to know. So when I got home, I opened one and I checked, and it was 2 lines. I was shaking because I was like, "Ee." So I opened the second one. It was the same result. So I sent him a picture of it on WhatsApp. I was like, this was the outcome. And even with that, still I was doubting. So, and I didn't want to go to the hospital too. So I waited for some time. So when I got to the hospital, I think when I took the scan, I was like 9 weeks gone.
Wow.
Yeah. And like when we're taking the scan, like hearing the heartbeat, I can't explain how I felt that day. It was very amazing.
For me, that's what I still have it on my phone.
Yeah.
It was a special ringing tone for my husband for a long time. Because anytime I could just get up on a weekend and just drive to a hospital and tell them that, oh, the doctor gave me a request, but I've misplaced it, so I need to do a scan. I just want to hear the heartbeat. And anytime I hear it, it's like, whatever problem I was having during the week, the stress, everything just out. Because I don't know for you, but there are days that the baby's not okay.
Yes.
You don't feel the movement. You just feel some heaviness.
Yes.
And then if it's your first pregnancy, there's a whole lot of misconception.
Yeah.
You feel, hey, what could be happening?
Yes. Maybe the baby is not alright. Yes.
Hey, is the baby okay? You know, the curiosity. So I'll just go to the hospital and be like, oh, I forgot a slip. Oh, water powder. I always fabricated a story. And I'll go to different clinics so that they don't notice me.
Oh, okay.
And then when I go there, they will sign me up. I'll go to the room. I just love the gel. Though it's chilled,
Yes.
I just love that whole experience, you know. And anytime I hear the heartbeat, I'll be like, oh, record them on my wife.
I think I always
loving the whole experience. And number 3 will come very soon. Yes, the way she's loving it.
Yes, I think I also enjoyed that, especially when I had to go see my gynecologist. It was always something I looked forward to. Like, can you hurry up with the conversation and just check the baby? Yeah.
You were too excited.
Yes.
You were dramatic
Yes.
about it.
He was even part of it, so I couldn't even hide it for a minute.
Okay.
Yes.
So the
He
reality
just
is you don't really get that chance to be as dramatic as we see on social media. Is that it?
Well, I would say some people have a different plan for their life. You know, some people have dramatized their life. They have a way they want things to play out for them. But on a natural level, you really don't have time for that. It will surprise you that anytime I was telling my husband or mostly I go to the hospital with him. And anytime the doctor told us that we were pregnant or the scan showed that we were pregnant, he had already been telling me maybe 3 weeks before that your complexion is changing. Hey, of late, you are eating more of this. You are doing well. So I had it in mind that I was going to be dramatic. I had a whole concert I had planned out before marriage that, my husband travels a lot. So, one day when he comes home, maybe I would have found out I'm pregnant and I would sing Jingle Bells, all I want for Christmas, and I'll open the dress and the belly will be there. Well, it all stayed in the head. It didn't materialize.
Okay, so let's take the pregnancy journey. Which trimester was the hardest? How was your pregnancy journey?
For me, I would say the last trimester. That was the time I couldn't sleep. I was eating a lot. Any little thing I do, I'll just be tired. I easily got tired during that time. Maybe because they were two. Yes, I think because they were two. And I was becoming bigger and bigger every day. Swollen feet, big nose and all that. And I became very, very dark. Very dark. I remember one time I went to Kumasi. I saw my sister's husband. He couldn't recognize me. I had changed that much, yes. So I would say that the last trimester, that was the most difficult part for me. Yes, I couldn't sleep, as I said. And as a result of that, I had preeclampsia, high blood pressure, yes. So it wasn't easy for me, yes. The last trimester, it was very difficult.
Well, I think for me, the whole trimesters, from the first, the second, and the third was just horrible because my doctor had put me on bed rest for the whole period, and I was like, don't do anything, relax. And I'm not that kind of person. I want to take care of things. I want to buy baby things. I want to make sure the nursery is ready. But he was like, no, Cyril, you need to rest. I don't want anything happening to your baby. And I was like, okay. So it was really stressful. Always going to the hospital, always seeing the doctor. I think I saw the doctor more than I even went to church throughout the whole throughout the whole pregnancy. I always had to be at the hospital, so it wasn't nice.
But with my experience, everything was smooth.
Wow.
Yeah, lucky.
Cute.
I was just normal. It was my body that changed a bit, my nose, I became dark, but there was nothing like cravings, spitting, vomiting, morning sickness, like everything was just fine, yeah.
You know the saying is like, you don't feel anything until you realize you're pregnant.
Yes, it's very true.
I think it's true.
Yeah.
Because as Vaida said, I was also okay until I got to know that I was pregnant. Then all of a sudden, heightened smell. I mean, somebody who has a blocked nose, now I can smell things miles away. You'd sleep, you have this kind of realistic dreams. I don't know if it's happened to you, but I used to have realistic dreams. I can't pinpoint any trimester. I think maybe the latter part.
Yeah.
The latter part, because I normally have a very pointy tummy. So if you're standing in front of me, you won't see that I'm pregnant. If I'm wearing a pep top. If you're standing behind me, you won't see it. If you're standing beside me, then you just see some angled girl coming. So around that time, it gets heavy for me. And the first pregnancy was around COVID, just when the lockdown had come in. So it was a bit difficult. I couldn't go out to buy anything.
Yeah, same here.
I couldn't do much. I was just stuck at home, filled with anxiety. So that was it. The second pregnancy, because I had a little girl, I would say that was when I started feeling it, getting to the end of the third trimester, because she was then at the carry me stage. Because she felt her mother had changed. I needed time to rest, and all she wanted was her mother to carry me. And carrying her with the belly, I think she made her sister come early. She was sitting on the belly a lot. But that was it. You don't really feel pregnant until you realize you're actually pregnant. Then all that you've heard, the myth, the anxiety, the misconception, you start noticing things My skin was okay,
Oh,
but the
lucky.
second pregnancy, I can say I actually lost weight.
Oh,
I didn't gain anything at all. So going forward, getting to the end of the third trimester, I think I would take off from work and then relax, knowing how my body has been through it. So, I know people have the experiences of 24 hours labor, and I was really praying I don't have that. I just had maybe the first time was 13 hours labor, but the second baby was under 2 hours. By the time I knew I was having the baby was out. The water broke and she came out. But the first baby, they broke the water for me after maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, and then the baby came. It was an experience.
Right, aren't you? Well, I think for both of us, we had CS, so we don't really know what the labor is all about. But for me, I think I had planned a natural birth. Sorry to use that word. They're all natural per se, or a vaginal birth, yes. And I'd spoken with my doctor. He had prepped me for all that push, and we had gone for antenatal and all that stuff. But then he called me to the hospital, I think, on a Friday. He called me on a Thursday rather and said, Zuriel, I don't think we'll be able to have a vaginal birth. You would have to go through CS. I was like, why? He was like, through the scans, we noticed that your baby had turned. So from the first trimester, second trimester, this girl was coming head down. And then the last minute for her to come out, she decides, you know what, I'm going to use my legs. And then, see? And I was like, no, I want to push the baby. I mean, I'm not the one to say, I'm a Hebrew woman, so I want to show I'm strong. But I had planned that this is what I wanted to do. And so he was like, no, I can't risk your life because your pregnancy journey has been stressful. So we'll just have to go through CS. So, exactly. So at that time, I hadn't bought half of her stuff because the date we were given was 23rd September, and this is like 1st September. So I'm like, I haven't gotten everything. Yeah. So I quickly called my husband because he was at work, and I told him the baby is going to be coming on Saturday, 3rd of September. And he said, oh, but that's too soon. I was like, that's what the doctor said. So we have to go shopping, extra shopping. So we went shopping, got some stuff, and I quickly packed my bag to the hospital. I got there Friday evening because it was CS and they had to prep me, told me I had to eat all I had to the night before because in the morning I wouldn't be allowed to eat anything. And I'm a foodie. Like, how do you tell me that I don't have to eat? So they said I didn't have to eat anything. So I was like, okay. Can I have snacks? Like, nothing.
Were
just
you allowed to drink water?
Yeah, sips of water. So the nurse came to prep me, took some of the things I needed, the details and all that stuff. And then I was relaxed. I was, talking with my husband. Friday night, we were laughing. Saturday morning, it was as if I was being led to the altar to be sacrificed or something. I was so scared. I was shaking. I was like, I've never gone under the knife before, and I was super scared. I called my mom. I was like, Mommy, I'm scared. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. She was like, you can do it. You're stronger. I'm like, this is not about being strong. They're about to cut me. So I'll say the professionals who took care of me were very nice. That's one thing. They were so accommodating. Even when even though one mishap was during my epidural, so it's normal. It's supposed to be like a one-time thing, but I think they had to put the needle like 5 times.
You went through epidural? Oh, okay.
And so it was I don't know how to describe it. Like it had to bend at a particular angle, and then they had to inject or put I don't know what it was, into my body, but it was quite painful. But once it started working, I felt peace like a river. I didn't even know what was going on. So I was just there. My husband came to stay with me while they operated on me, and I'd say the moment I heard my baby cry, ooh, it was like, I don't care. You don't even have to cover me up. just give me the baby. And I cried. I think I'm a crier, so I cried. I'm a cry baby. So I cried, and the nurse brought her to me, and I just couldn't believe that I was a mom.
Yes.
Like, what?
That experience, the first time, it's so amazing.
From prego to mama.
Exactly. No, it was just crazy. And so they took the baby away, and me, I'm just this crazy person. I'm not crazy, but then I just feel like my husband should leave me and go with the baby. I've heard too many stories. Don't be with me. I'm fine. Go stay with my baby. And he was like, no, I'll stay with you. I'm like, go stay with the baby. Yeah. So he left me, and then went to stay with the baby, and they covered me up, sutured me up, and then took me to recovery. And I was like, where is the baby? I want to hold her. Like, no, you have to rest. I'm like, rest? What is rest? I want to see her. And so eventually they took me to my room, and I think that was where the whole journey actually started. Because then the whole epidural started wearing off. I was feeling the pain. Sis.
I don't know if you were shaking.
Oh no, I was itchy.
For me, I was shaking for like a whole 2 hours. I was shaking. I couldn't even hold them.
Oh.
Feeling cold.
So they had to put, I think, a spoon in my mouth. I was shaking. I was really shaking. And that was when I was feeling the pain too. You see, when they are doing it, you don't feel anything. Your whole, I think your lower part, it becomes numb. You don't feel anything. You just feel their fingers
And
in
the
your stomach, and
movements of your
exactly,
body.
they're pulling the babies out, and the first
actually
baby,
feel it.
yes. You don't feel the pain, but you feel the movement. Yes. So the whole process is not painful, but after some hours, that is when you start feeling the pain, and it's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. I couldn't walk well. That was the first day. I couldn't. When you cough, you feel the pain. When you laugh, when you talk, everything you do, you feel the pain. So I just had to keep quiet and lie down. And because of that, I couldn't breastfeed. Yes, the first 24 hours I couldn't breastfeed.
I think for 48 hours, they had to give her formula.
Formula,
I had
yes.
planned no formula. Those moms, she's not going to take formula. But I was like, you know what? She's hungry. Go ahead. Yeah.